Hello, welcome back to Jade and Jay. It's been a while, but we still doing our thing. Just want to, keep it honest.
Yeah, we just want to just be consistent with keeping up with these videos or audio things that we do, and just vent out on various subjects within the Black community. See if we can still look for solutions and just give some insight on our views on things, and want to know what others have to say with the type of subjects we talk about.
Yeah, I do want to just say a thank you to everyone who has actually listened to all of our other recordings. And if you haven't, please go back and check them out. We're not just saying things for no reason. We really are hoping to touch the community. And it is mostly about black and brown, but for this recording specifically, I want to touch on black. And what I mean by that is, why do we have so much hate within the community, within our own black, like black on black crime, black on black verbal hatred?
You used to hear the old heads when we were little talk about things, how we talk about things with regards to social issues, family, politics, even.
Right.
And I find myself thinking and reminiscing on those times the old heads said things like, whether it's, you know, the music is bad, y'all kids don't know
Yeah.
what such and such is good.
You don't know what
So,
good music is.
yeah, so, but with more serious issues, it is disheartening to hear and see still in 2021, as far as we've come, and we got a longer way to go.
Right.
This we're still so divisive on issues that are personal,
Yeah.
and it's not worth it.
Right, right. I believe we have to remember what we've come from, but not hang on to it to the point where we use it as an excuse. Like, you can't blame us for hating each other. Look at back in the day, in house
Right,
versus out house. We've always had reason to be jealous, and we can't keep blaming the man, but we can't forget
right.
what did happen. And it you're right. It is very disheartening, which is why I post some of the comments that I do post with. I have to just go recent with a lot of black people putting comments about hurtful things about other black people just because of certain medical choices.
Right. And it's not about the COVID issue, the vaccine, the unvaccinated or the vax. It's cool if you do either or. But one thing that sticks out that I don't like is when you hear black people saying, giving their testimony for taking it or not taking it.
Right.
And both sides are just, well, they compromise, they're this and that, and I don't see no other race doing that but black people. And granted,
Right.
we have the most issues in America,
Right.
but you mean to tell me there's not an Asian that's on one end of,
Right.
of one issue and another on the other,
Of
but I
course.
still do not see them hating and killing each other over
Right.
stupid stuff. And I just don't like that within us. And my solution, one of many, but off the top of my head, is I love to engage in serious issues that both me and somebody else or a group of people are passionate about, that we're
Yeah.
looking for a solution to, end result.
Yeah.
And if we agree to disagree, I walk away from that feeling real good to know that
Yeah.
at least I didn't tear this person down, they didn't tear me down or try
Yeah.
to, that we still have the same goal and we didn't tear each other down. Black unity
Right.
is you can't mess with that at its strongest.
I think the respect has gone out the window. Of course, we're going to disagree. No two households, let alone two, different people in general, are going to believe in the same thing. And with other races and cultures, I see that they can have differences, whether it be medical, social, political.
Yeah.
You're going to have difference. You're supposed to have differences. But where disrespect comes in, that's where it becomes hurtful. And with like you said, with the old heads used to say stuff, and now we're becoming the old heads,
Right.
and we're saying, man, look, when is this gonna stop? When are we gonna be able to sit down and talk about our differences, like specifically medically, because that's just the thing going on nowadays, anti-vax versus whatever. Okay, make your decision and what's best for you, and move on and get over it, because we can't just be stuck on this one thing. And why are we stuck on just this one thing?
Yeah, we're not stuck on the shootings in Chicago obesity,
Right.
financial situations we find ourselves in. We focus on an issue that I think personally that they want us to talk about. This
Yes.
damn vax and unvax. If you take it, cool, God bless you. If you don't take it, cool, God bless you, man. But I'd be damned if I'm finna make it my priority to go
Yeah.
out there and tell people to get vaxxed. And I'd be damned if somebody tell me the other.
The opposite. Yeah.
The opposite. Yeah, I'm not doing that, man. I'd rather just look at the long run in this,
Right.
which is, we both have mean the best for our community and for ourselves, but this slander and talking about people is played out, man. I mean,
Yeah.
on a side note, like we was talking about earlier, the old heads,
Yeah.
and how we sound like them. Well, hell, personally, I find myself as I'm getting older, not saying nigga no more.
Right.
I mean, and it's not a big, epiphany or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
you know,
You start to change
you
and
start
see
to
it.
change, man.
Yeah.
You start
Yeah.
to appreciate things as you get older, man. And
Yeah.
your perspective changes. So, yeah.
Yeah, between vocabulary changing, you learning more, you make the time to read more because you understand, hey man, but think about years ago when we didn't even have the option to learn how to read, and they, schools and just everything that was just not given to us that we had to fight for, and we don't have to fight as hard as our ancestors did. So why are we so spoiled? Why are we complaining about things that our ancestors didn't know anything about, didn't have the privilege to get? And recently I did comment on that. Back in the day, a black man, woman, or child could not even go to the hospital. An appointment, don't even dream about it, man.
Right.
Don't even think about it. And now we're blessed and fortunate to not only go to a black doctor, to become a black doctor, to allow one of our children or family members to try to help them at least think about going to school to see if you want to be a doctor.
I mean, speaking of schools, I think that's what we need to be talking about as a solution, as opposed to just posting things about who said something about being vaxxed and unvaxxed.
Right.
I mean, hell, my oldest daughter was putting me up on game with queer baiting, as she said.
Yeah.
There's a such thing, and I might have been oblivious to it or just behind, but I didn't know there was such thing as queer baiting, to where there is, that agenda, peace to them, that agenda, they try to lure kids in. Hell, a teacher asked my daughter, is she homophobic?
Right. Why would a teacher ask a child that all because she decided to opt out of a certain extracurricular activity?
It's getting bad out there, and that's what I wish we would unite and talk about and look for solutions, as
Right.
opposed to other things that's just either private or just none of your damn business and all.
Right. Right. And I refuse to just stand by and allow one black person to try to call themselves a leader or whatever may be similar in that category, but still not provide any alternative other than, oh, just don't do this and don't do that, and I've studied this for such amount of time or whatever. But can we talk about education? Can we talk about health? I would rather more time be spent in having better debates and conversations as to, what kind of school system we should choose. Are charter schools better? Should we try to make private schools more affordable, or should we just focus on public schools and how to make public schools not seem so crappy? It seems like when you think about a public school now, you think about the I don't know, a child version of a jail.
Hell, and what happened in Texas with that school shooter who turned out to be a black guy, that happened at a public school.
Let's see.
That happened at a public school. And it's not that just, talk down on public schools. It's just the point I'm making with that is, like you said, Jay, with just, should we talk about, well, we should talk about, private schools,
Right.
Maybe that should be affordable or whatever the solution is. But the point I'm making with that is, it seems, and I know I went to public school, so
Right.
I've seen and heard about my fair share of such and such got a gun, man,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you didn't hear about that in private schools, so it has its pros and cons. But I'm getting back on the issue of, that's an issue we need to attack as
Right.
our educational system. I mean,
Right.
damn, this critical race theory is the issue now.
Exactly. They don't want to teach, and I appreciate all the people that are posting positive things out there and,
Right.
and educational facts.
The strong women out there, man.
Right. I mean, it's they don't want to teach us about it, but they want to tell us how to be and how not to be, and all this debate over who's getting a shot and who's not. I can't wait till this just kind of dies down, because then what are you going to talk about? What is your platform going to be? And if you look at our platform, it's not just one thing. Our previous video, one of the previous ones about the conspiracy theories in the community, that's just one of the many, many topics. And there's many more, God willing, on the way.
Yeah.
But I'm not just going to be stuck on one thing. You do what's right for you medically. There are already kids out there that are autistic, and I wouldn't dare tell them to take anything that they shouldn't take.
I would not tell an autistic kid to take no kind of vaccination, none whatsoever.
They better talk to their pediatrician or doctor and their neurologist and whatever specialist that a professional, someone who has studied years and years and years of school. That's why they put these doctors for so many years. You can't just be a doctor in 4 years. You need a devoted person to take the time to study everything that they need to study to be a primary care doctor or a specialist or whatever, or a dentist. But we can't be scared to go to the doctor.
Nope.
Because remember, back in the day, we didn't even have that privilege.
Yeah.
And
we didn't have the privilege of having black doctors.
And I don't understand why all these white people are lined up to get the shot and nothing has happened to them. But we have the highest percentage, and overall, that's being affected by COVID because we're not taking the shot. We're too scared. And when everything falls apart and shit hit the fan, what are we going to say? Like you said, oh, you can't blame me.
Yeah, I mean, my belief is some people who really buy into the conspiracy theories is that, well, you can't blame us, man. Look how they've been treating us, man. But damn, man, we are not living in those times, which makes it a damn shame that we in 2021, we've come a long way, but we have still got problems. But the amount of technology and advance we are than before, it's pathetic that people believe the things that they believe.
Right. And I have to be unapologetically truthful moving forward, and if people think that we sound like kids, well, hey, you clearly don't know, and you're clearly that kind of stuff, that bring it. I want all the smoke, as they say.
Yeah.
But I know that I've lived long enough to understand what's really important. You have to respect each other as a community. Don't go around complaining and asking for change if you can't even respect your own people in your own community. You don't see other cultures go at it with each other as bad as we do.
It's terrible. I hate that. I really, really do hate that. Because I know that I'm going to not agree on my people with everything, but I love to know that down the end of it, we're going to agree to disagree, and it can be cool knowing that, man, I don't agree with that, but,
right.
I wish that person good, man. That shit feels good to me as a black person.
And we didn't used to complain about this kind of stuff. I know that there have been people that have always felt uneasy about certain immunizations, and and this is another topic for another time, but just to briefly touch on this with pregnancies and how you have to ask a person who went through a questionable pregnancy, and maybe a young lady, maybe too young, maybe shouldn't have had a kid at that time, maybe got seduced or convinced to I drink and get knocked up or whatever, and ask that female what happened. First of all, when did she even realize that she was pregnant? How many women out there can say, man, I didn't even know I was pregnant for the first such and such weeks or months or whatever? And how many were not on prenatal vitamins? And how many didn't eat healthy, drink water, eat the kind of nutrients that you can't just depend on prenatals. You got to take that first. Take it a month before you want to have a kid. Then eat healthy, do little basic, whatever your doctor recommends as far as a light workout. You can be pregnant and work out. Not anything strenuous.
Not an excuse just to get big.
Exactly. And again, just eat healthy. And then ask that person who went through a great pregnancy with everything that they did and tried to do, what are the statistics of those cases where the kids don't come out autistic? And then on the flip side, how many women didn't know they were pregnant, may have even drank the first 1 or 2 months, didn't eat right, didn't take the prenatal because they couldn't take the pill, didn't want to chop it down and be creative and find ways to get those nutrients in your body.
Right.
And then ask that person, how did your kid turn out? And again, that's something I'll dive into more with you on another debate, but another conversation. But just to, get ready to conclude this, I really wish that we would stop this black on black. We're killing ourselves verbally and still physically with,
let's say cyberly too.
Yeah, we're cyberly just destroying ourselves.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, damn, man, like, I wish, hypothetically speaking, I could be Asian, I could be, Arab. I know every race has its problems, but dude, somebody got to admit, we be slandering each other not joking. Joking is one thing. I mean, we be slandering people.
We
Somebody
do.
said because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is for the vaccine, that I guess it's back to Lil Alcindor. I'm like,
Man,
damn,
that broke my
man,
heart.
you doing the same
Yeah.
thing the white man did.
Why would a
when
black
Muhammad
man-
Ali changed his name from that to from Cassius Clay to
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali? So essentially, you're doing the same thing.
You worse than
Not
a white
joke, man. That's
It's
a
not.
slander.
You doing worse than what a white man already did to him.
And
Like,
we
you can't-
already got problems with them.
Come on,
We don't
man.
need we don't need that shit.
I know. It's heartbreaking. It really is.
But I just want to just say a shout out to all the platforms that are doing their thing, whether it's Comedy Central,
Comedy hype.
Comedy Hype, Comedy Hype. All the people that follow us on Twitter,
D.L. Hughley.
Hughley, all of them, man. I mean, even if you don't follow them, that's what we follow. If you follow us because we got different views, we respect it, man. Because
Right.
we respect you, man. That's what it
Yeah.
all boils down to.
I'm not here to disrespect anybody or to say, oh, look at such and such face. Oh, you know, pick up your face or whatever. No, can we not do that to each other? We're all different. We all believe different things. We all have different medical backgrounds. But as a whole, our life expectancy isn't that good. So we really got to be careful.
We got to be on our P's and Q's, man.
Right. So please leave your comments. Listen to this. Listen to the previous recordings. Let us know what you think.
Subscribe to us, like us.
Right.
Hit us up on Twitter.
All right. And stay safe.
Peace and blessings.